Accessibility Standards for Customer Service. GEM Healthcare Services Incorporated. Making Ontario Accessible. On June 13, 2005, the government passed the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, 2005. The Act makes Ontario the first jurisdiction in Canada to develop, implement, and enforce mandatory accessibility standards, and applies to both the private and public sectors. About 1.85 million people in Ontario have a disability. That's 1 in 7 people. Over the next 20 years, as the population ages, the number will rise to 1 in 5 Ontarians. Through the Act and the accessibility standards, the goal of the Government of Ontario is to make Ontario accessible by 2025. The standard, making customer service accessible for people with disabilities. Interacting with persons with disabilities. General tips for serving customers with disabilities. May I help you? Your customers/clients with disabilities know if they need help and how you can provide it. Speak directly to your customer/client. Not everybody with the same disability experiences the same things. Don't make assumptions. Your customers are not required to tell you about their disabilities. General tips for serving customers with disabilities. Take the time to get to know your clients/customers' needs and focus on meeting those needs just like you would with any other customer. Some disabilities are not visible. All clients/customers have a range of needs and preferences, and so do your customers with disabilities. If you can't understand what your client/customer is saying, politely ask him or her to repeat it. You may want to ask if the information you are conveying needs to be repeated. Ask, do you understand this? Exercise patience. Serving customers with disabilities, deaf, oral deaf, deaf and hard of hearing. Attract the client/customer's attention before speaking. For example, try a gentle touch on the shoulder or wave of your hand. Don't shout. Make sure you are in a well-lit area where your client/customer can see your face. If the person uses a hearing aid, reduce background noise or move to a quieter area. Serving customers with disabilities, intellectual/developmental disabilities. Don't assume what a person can or cannot do. Use plain language. Make sure your client/customer understands what you've said. You can be direct and ask, do you understand this? Provide one piece of information at a time. You can break down the information into simpler concepts, without exaggerating speech or gestures or being patronizing. You may want to ask if the information needs to be repeated. Serving customers with disabilities, learning disabilities. Take some time. People with some kinds of learning disabilities may take a little longer to process, understand, and respond. Provide information in a way that works for your client/customer. For example, keep a pen and paper handy. That way, you can explain, and then review and repeat the information using any additional notes. Be prepared to explain any materials you provide for your clients/customers. Serving customers with disabilities, physical or disabilities affecting mobility. Ask before you help. People with physical disabilities often have their own ways of doing things. Respect your clients/customers' personal space. Don't lean over them or on an assistive device. Don't move items, such as canes and walkers, out of the person's reach. If you have permission to move a person in a wheelchair, remember to make sure your customer is ready to be moved and that you describe what you're going to do beforehand. Don't leave the individual in an awkward, dangerous, or undignified position such as facing a wall or in the path of opening doors. In some situations, inform your client/customer about accessible features in the immediate environment, automatic doors, accessible washrooms, elevators, ramps, etc. Serving customers with disabilities, speech or language impairments. Don't assume that just because a person has this disability, they also have another. Give your customer whatever time they need to get their point across. Ask questions that can be answered yes or no, if possible. Don't interrupt or finish your client's/customer's sentences. Wait for them to finish. Serving customers with disabilities, customers with vision loss. 9 out of 10 people who go to see NIB have some degree of vision. Don't assume the individual can't see you. Identify yourself when you approach your client/customer and speak directly to him or her. Offer your elbow to guide the person. If they accept, walk slowly, but wait for permission before doing so. Identify landmarks or other details to orient your customer to the environment around them. If you're giving directions or providing any information, be precise and descriptive. For example, if you're approaching a door or an obstacle, say so. Don't leave your client/customer in the middle of a room. Guide them to a chair or a comfortable location. Don't walk away without saying goodbye. Serving customers with disabilities - customers with service animals. Often related to clients/customers with vision loss. Hearing alert animals to alert an individual to an oncoming seizure. Helping people with autism, mental health disabilities, physical disabilities, other disabilities. Allowed anywhere clients/customers normally have access. Devices that help people with disabilities. Access services. TTY, teletypewriter, sends typed messages across phone lines. Relay service, 1-800-855-0511. Operator is intermediary free for local calls. Standard long-distance charges apply. Other assistive devices: keyboard, pen and paper, pointing device, information in braille, automatic door opener, hearing and amplification devices. Now for a short quiz. Serving Ontario Disabilities. Test name: __________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________ date. ______1. When you are dealing with a client with a disability and you are unsure if they need help, you should go ahead and help them. If they don't like it, they'll say so. Ignore them until you have time for them. Serve the easiest clients first. Ask, "May I help you?" 2. Which of the following statements is always true? All seniors hard of hearing. Avoid touching a service animal without permission. Seniors who are blind cannot see anything. 3. Which statement about customers with disabilities is true? A client's disability may or may not affect how they interact with you. All seniors use assistive devices such as a wheelchair or a hearing aid. All people with the same disability are affected in the same way. 4. If you need to communicate by telephone with a customer who is deaf, orally deaf, deaf and or hard of hearing, you can use the relay service. The number for the relay service is 911 411 1-800-855-0511. 5. True or false? Canada's population is aging, so the number of people with disabilities is likely to increase in the next 20 years. True, false?